This is the problem with having good friends that give you good shit to drink, because then you have to acquire it, and oftentimes they're not cheap or easy to get. Welcome to the Four-Gate Exploration episode. I'm your host Sam, and this is Whiskey and SV. All right, so this episode is all about me exploring a little bit the Four-Gate brand and the bourbons and whiskeys that they have. So I acquired this particular bottle, which is a store select, a little maybe about 4 or 5 months ago. I've always been hesitant to get Four-Gate, any like pay one in a store. First of all, they're hard to find, and secondly, when you do find them, they tend to be in the high hundreds, like almost close to $200 after taxes. So I couldn't justify that for like a 7-year-old whiskey, and they're usually around 7 or 8 years old. This particular one is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in a new toasted cask by Calvin Cooperage. It is a single barrel, aged 7 years, cask number 298, and it is 119.1 proof, which is 59.55%. So as you can see, it was selected by Eddie Varday, which means it is a store special. I believe Eddie has a couple of stores in Southern California, and we sometimes buy from him. This one came in a bundle along with a stag, and I believe an Old Forester single barrel. So I would say effectively I ended up paying close to $150 for it, and I have already tried it, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. Now I have a friend, Matt, who is an aficionado of Four-Gate, and I let him have a sample of this, and he told me this is nothing like all the Four-Gate that he has, and in fact he told me that this is not a good representation, and I should try some of the ones that he enjoys. And being the generous person that he is, he's given me some samples to try. So that is what this episode is going to be about. I'm going to be trying these samples to see if it is a brand that I can actually enjoy and I should, consider buying, given the high price and the fact that I didn't really think it was anything that special. It wasn't like that it's bad or anything. I just didn't think it's worth, 150 or $200, whatever the price tag that it may be. Um, okay, so the samples here are, the first one is a Four-Gate Batch 21 Peri Peri 80 rye, and this is a tawny port finish, 112.2%. 112.2 proof. So this one is a rye. I'm going to leave this onto the side for now. I want to try more like the bourbon. So this one is a Four-Gate 7 year 6 month Mizunara cask finished bourbon. That sounds interesting. Mizunara is usually a Japanese oak that's very hard to work with. So famously Yamazaki 18 is aged in Mizunara, and that's one of the reasons why it's so expensive. And then the second sample here, or the third sample, I should say, is the Four-Gate 117 proof Kelvin Collab 5 Batch 28. So I believe I've tried this a Kelvin Collab at some point, but it was during a big marathon session that I don't remember much of. Now, you'll note that I want to use my cool American whiskey glasses in this episode. So I got these made. I got these made by Wisdom Whiskey, and if you want a link to order these, I'll put something in the description below. Anyways, let's get started. I only have two of them, so it's not gonna be super fair if I try that in a different glass. So I'm just gonna like try these two first. I'll probably just try like half an ounce of each and um, see what I think of them, and then I'll compare it with I'll compare them with the other one as well. Um, but maybe I should have not used these, but I'm just so excited to use them. All right, well, let's see. Okay, well, already I may have forgot which one I put in which. Okay, it was this and this. Okay, so this is the Calvin collab, And this one is the Mizunara. Okay, so the Mizunara one, some mineral notes. Obviously, like it's a bourbon, so you get the typical, vanilla and caramel. There's quite a bit of oak that comes through. I don't know necessarily what Mizunara oak is supposed to be like, but there's a mustiness to it. When I say mineral, I also mean like kind of mustiness. Again, it kind of reminds me of a cellar that has basically limestone walls or something like that. Okay, so that's that. Let's try this one. Less potent on the nose. Similar though, very similar, but just a little bit less potent. Yeah. I don't think there's anything super like nothing stands out too much from these. I think they just have like a standard bourbon nose. Probably this one with a little bit more mustiness and mineral notes to it. This one a bit less. Okay, so let's go for a palate. Wow, that is pretty good. So just the intensity of flavor was kind of unexpected because from the nose I didn't expect that intensity of flavor. Um, just lots of um, sweet and spicy notes that exploded from the middle of the tongue and went to the sides. Just a really great mouthfeel. And then the finish is, yeah, it's quite a bit of oak there. So a little bit of, I would. It's not bitter, but it is definitely. You can feel the tannins. Okay, let's try the Calvin collab. This one feels a bit younger, to be honest. There's a bit of a youthfulness to it, and I perceive that as kind of like more like ethanol notes that haven't been tamed quite as much by the wood. Um, it just feels like a kind of a younger version of this one. I'm not sure if the age is comparable or not. This one says 7 years 6 months. The Mizunara one. The Kelvin collab doesn't have an age on it, but it does feel younger, to be honest. I mean, I think they're both pretty nice. They're both pretty nice and solid bourbons. I don't know if I would pay 150 plus for them. I think for like half of that price you can get Elijah Craig's. Okay, well they're not exactly the same flavor profile, but even some Maker's Marks, um, Russell Reserve single barrels. Let's see. Let's do this one more time. Yeah, definitely the wood influences in this Mizunara are more prominent. It is you definitely uh, get this oaky undertone, and it is a little bit mouth drying. I like that. It's I would say this is you know teetering on the being special. Um, I would have to have it next to some other stuff to be sure, but yeah, there's also this like effervescence to it. The spices are are interesting. They're kind of like very mouthwatering, and and then they dissipate into the oak. So yeah, it's I think this is quite interesting. I like this quite a bit. So let's try this a little bit more. Now I'm getting some chocolate in this. That wasn't there at the initial nosing. I'm not sure when these were opened, but they're very similar actually. This one just is slightly more, slightly less wood influence on it. I feel, um, and it is a little bit more bitter. Yeah, I would say there's not a whole lot of difference between these two. I'm not a huge fan of the finish on this. I think it's there's a little bit of a bitterness that is not necessarily from the oak. Hmm. It's good. It's good. I just, yeah, I don't think I would pay 150 plus for it. Okay, so I want to try this bottle that I didn't enjoy, or I would say enjoyed but didn't enjoy as much as $150. So I'm gonna rinse this first. The perils of having a beard. Excuse me. Okay, let's try a little bit of this and see. Yeah, the nose is just much more muted on this. It's very similar though. I mean, no, it's just you don't get any of the chocolate notes. You don't get any of the oaky notes. There's just not much of a nose to be had in this. Hmm. Okay, let's try. I mean, there's nothing offensive about it. It's fine. You can get a little bit of that um, toasty note on it, but it actually like feels a little bit thin on the palate. It feels like it's been chill filtered, which is strange because it doesn't say that it's chill filtered, but it also doesn't say that it's non-chill filtered. So I don't know. Our private select cask whiskey is a single barrel. We're proud to share with you. Blah blah blah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't feel as oily as these other two. It just feels a bit thinner on the palate. Yeah, it's okay. You know, I think you do get actually quite a lot of oak on it. But the oak is not particularly. Yeah, I would say it's not particularly like the oak that I prefer. It's a little bit bitter. Mm, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a fine whiskey. It's just not worth 150. That's all. 150 plus, probably closer to 200. Yeah, I would say it's okay. I have it. I probably would want to trade it if someone gives me something interesting. If not, it's okay for the library. I the way I think about these things is as long as I have space and as long as I can afford to buy stuff, I'm never mad to have bought something and to have it in the library because your palate changes over time, and as you try different things, it's always good to be able to go back and like compare it to something else. Um, I think out of the ones that I tried, uh, out of these three, definitely I feel like the Mizunara was the more special one. If I came across this, I would probably be interested to buy one as long as it's around that 150-ish mark, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be more than that. So I don't know. I don't know if I would pay that much for it. So there you have it. I think Four Gate for me is not great value for money. It's okay, but it's not a brand I would like really go out there and try to buy. I mean, if I'm spending $200, I'd even rather spend the $200 on a stag that is supposed to cost $50. But it is really like from just the experience you get from a stag is much better than this, in my opinion. To each their own. Okay, let's also try this rye because this rye is supposed to be super special. Um, I am a big fan of tawny port and just port finished whiskeys in general, and um, specifically this peri peri is supposed to be something special. So let's see. Oh my god, that's really just like candy and kind of like this minty candy thing, and then like chocolate. The nose on this is really great. It's kind of very desserty, very very desserty. Okay, let's try it. That's quite special. Yeah, it's very very different than a lot of other things I've tried. Um, all the high end ryes that I've tried have something special. I think generally rye tends to have, especially Finnish ryes, right? They tend to have like more variety and interesting things to them. Bourbons, I feel like at some point just like kind of blend into each other for the most part. Um, this has, let me see if I can give you some notes. There's a sweetness that just kind of lingers, and um, this it's not like a typical rye at all. Actually, it's not very vegetal. It is very sweet and desserty. A little bit of spices that kind of like come mid palate, but they fade away pretty quickly, and it just leaves this sweet and yeah, desserty kind of like aftertaste with some oak tannins. It's it's quite nice. I really enjoy that. Yeah, for me, the clear winner of the night is the Peri Peri 80 rye. This is quite nice. I may have to look into getting one of these. I don't know how much it costs, but I hope not too much. This is the problem with having good friends that give you good shit to drink, because then you have to acquire it, and oftentimes they're not cheap or easy to get. So anyway, thank you, Matt, for those samples, and I hope you guys found this interesting. For me, it's important to continue on the journey of exploring new brands and seeing what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy, so I can make more informed decisions when buying whiskey. And hopefully, in some ways, I can also help you with your decisions. Okay, have a good one, and see you next time. Cheers.